scope of variable.
Recap about
Scopes, local, instant, and class.
okay. You want the recap about scope of a variable.
Yes.
Okay, so scope means visibility. Okay, so we have three types of scope: local, instance level, or we have class level. Okay, so local scope is scope of a variable. Topic is scope of variable. So first is local scope, instance scope, and three is class level. Local scope denotes that if a variable is declared within a function, then its life is restricted, is limited only within that function. So if I declare integer a over here, so a is now visible only in this function, function 1. If function true tries to access a, it will not permit it. If function 2 tries to access a, this is not allowed. So as a is only visible to function 1, function 2 cannot access this a. This is called as local scope. Okay, local variable. And if I make a class, and in that class I have, let's say we can make a simple class student. Now if I have 10 students, roll number will be given to individual student. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes.
And name, so each 10 of them will have their individual names,
Right.
and each one will have a different roll number, and each one will have a different percentage. But if they belong to the same school or the same college, the principal will, each one will have a separate principal, or the principal will be mutual?
One principal, all of have one principal.
If I have 10 objects of this class, if I have 10 objects, student S1, student S2, blah, 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 student S10. So how many roll numbers will I have? One per each student, correct?
Correct.
Ataullah.
Yes.
And how many names will I have?
Individual.
For
One
each.
name.
One for each student, except different name, correct?
Yes.
So I'll have 10 names. I'll have 10 roll numbers.
10%.
10 percentages. So that data which belongs to a object is called as instance level scope. So these three are instance level variables. These three. But the principal is mutual to all 10 of them.
Yes.
So that will be shared by all of them.
Yes.
So that data is called as static data in Java. And that static data has a class level scope. Getting it?
Yes.
How they will not be 10. They will not be 10 copies of
instance and static variables, or how we define, sir? Static instance.
Instance variable is the name.
Hmm.
And to make a variable, okay, static variable, you prefix the static keyword before that. So the variable which you feel is being shared by multiple objects, you prefix the keyword static before that variable. And the variable which you feel will not be shared, will belong to a object exclusively for him only, then you don't add a static keyword. So if you don't add a static keyword, it becomes instance variable. So that is how you differentiate between instance and class level scope. Those variables which will have the static keyword prefixed will have class level scope, and those variables which will not have the static keyword prefixed will be instance level scope. Got it,
Okay.
Shabana?
Okay.
And you have to use your own logic to make which variable will be instance level and which variable will be class level.
Got it.
So what is the local? I mean, the one which is shared by all is the static
Local
one.
is the variable which is declared by in a function. Local does not have anything to do with the class. In the class,
So can you elaborate a little more?
in the class, you will have only two type of variables: static and non-static.
Okay.
Farooq.
Yes, sir. Two is in
If it's
instance and
non-static,
in a
we
class.
can say that it's an instance variable, right?
Yeah, non-static is instance variable. Yeah,
Okay.
that is the difference. If you add
In a
static,
class.
it becomes class in a class.
Okay.
If you add static keyword, becomes a class variable. If you don't add a static keyword, it becomes an instance variable.
Hmm.
Farooq, these two things relate to a class. Okay. This is
All right,
related, this relates to a method.
Sir, any specific method or any general method?
If you make a method, in that you declare a variable. Okay, then that variable will be accessed, will be visible only in that method only. So this variable will have a local scope now.
Sir, are you talking about the private one?
No, private is the class, no? I'm not talking about the class. See, if you're writing a function, let's say I tell you, Farooq, write two functions to calculate area of circle, area of and perimeter of circle. How much task did I give you?
Calculate the area of two functions.
Area of a circle, perimeter of a circle.
Okay.
So what are the functions?
2 pi r and
No, what are the function names? Tell me first.
area of circle.
So you'll name it as area of circle. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then you'll also have a function called as
area of circle.
that is already there, no? Second function is
Perimeter of circle.
okay. Now, how many functions do you have?
2,
Two, right?
right?
So when you are dealing with local scope, forget about the class, forget about public, forget about static, forget about private, public, forget about that. Just normal programming. So how many functions do I have over here?
2.
Two. So if I declare integer radius, this variable radius is declared in which function?
Area of circle.
Okay, if I initialize it to
Local
value 10.
variable.
And now if I say over here 2 radius 2 pi r, right? Will it return me the value? This is my question.
No, sir. No.
If I say
No.
return and I put a type as double over there, so void I write double. Will this code work, Farooq?
Not at all.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Farooq to answer. Will this code work? Will this return you answer as 2 into 3.4 into 10?
No, sir.
That should be what? 628. 2 into 3.4 is 6.28. 6.28, right?
Right.
6.28 into 10.
Into 10. 62.8.
Would this return you 62.8? Yes, no, maybe. Farooq?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I
And
mean,
why did Amir say no?
Sorry, sir, I can't hear you.
Amir, why do you say no?
Because sir, if scope of the variable is only area of circle,
Yes.
it will
Okay.
That is local scope.
So this
yes
radius is
local
visible
scope.
only to which function?
area of circle.
Okay. So can perimeter of circle access that variable?
No.
No sir.
So for that, you'll have to declare it in its local also. So now, can these two functions have the same variable name?
Yes.
Why yes?
Yes sir.
Because
Because we have
hold
the
on.
radius.
Different function
Because
name.
both variables have local scope.
Scope, yes.
Okay.
And what scope? So this radius is visible only to this function, and this radius is visible only to this function. So there is no conflict at all. Is this understood? Farooq,
Yes, sir.
clear? Or still having confusion?
Got it, sir.
Okay, so local is sorted, right? And now the remaining two are instance and class. So which is the instance level variable? So mobile number, if you have a class family,
Class.
the mobile number, what will, so if that family has 10 members, mobile number will be mutual to all 10, or will each 10 have its individual mobile number?
Each one
Different
have
number.
a phone number instant level.
That is instance variable. Okay, then I will have dresses.
Individual.
So all 10 will have this, will share the same dress, or will each one have its own set of dresses?
Different individual have its own
So
instance
dress
level.
comes into which category? Instance or class?
Instance.
Okay, so if I say now refrigerator,
Static.
why static?
Because everybody is sharing the same refrigerator.
Yeah, so got the difference now between all three.
Yes, sir.
And you
Yes, sir.
access the instance level variable by this keyword. Which keyword?
Which keyword?
This.
This.
THIS. Which keyword?
This.
And you access the class level variable with the class name. With the. So refrigerator, as it is not to an individual. So I can say family dot refrigerator. Getting it? But I cannot say family dot mobile number. Can I? Which of these two are legitimate legal statements? First or second?
First
First.
one.
Which statement is legal over here?
First A.
A, right? So the variable which you can access directly with the class name is your static variable. And if you want to access instance variable, then you have to use this keyword. Got it?
Yes.
Sir, can you just take an example of this keyword so we can understand?
1 second. Already finished.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me take example of this keyword. Is my screen visibility on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so which package were you working on last time around? Constructor demo?
Static data method block import.
No, which package? Oh, here. Okay, let me come to student class. Okay. This was static data. Okay, now over here, I want Farooq to answer. Out of these 4 variables, which are static, which are non-static?
Sir, the roll number is not static, and the student name is also not static. The percentage is also non-static, but the head count is static.
So out of this, whenever I want to use roll number, I can say this dot roll number. Amir. This
Okay,
dot,
sir.
this dot percentage. And if you want to use the non-static, you can directly give the
Class name.
getting it, Amir.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Yes, I can write this.
So, sir, what is the significance for writing this dot? I mean,
This just points to a instance variable. So whenever there is an instance variable, you can write this. It's optional, but lots of developers they write that
I mean,
to make
if
the code more
we
readable.
we will be certain if there is this dot, so it's mean that this should be instance level.
Yeah, so wherever there is an instance variable, it can be prefixed with this dot wherever possible. So we had all this, right? So roll number is which variable, Farooq? Instance or static?
Instance.
So whenever you see instance variable in the class, you can prefix it with
This dot.
this dot. So S name is which variable?
This dot. Instance.
Percentage is,
This dot.
and head count is.
Static.
So static will be prefixed with the,
Class name.
okay. Then your roll number is. So this will not make any changes to the code. We're just adding the prefix. And I can add what over here? Okay. Now here, what can I add over here? Yes, Amir, understood how we can use this in our programming terms.
Yes, sir.
And here, what can I say?
Okay. Student. Yes, sir.
Okay, so this topic is refreshed. Okay, what else you all want to recap? Anything else you all have in mind? Okay, so let's start with inheritance today. So as we have this keyword, we also have super keyword. We also have which keyword?
Super.
Yeah, so we'll discuss that. So this keyword is understood, right? So today we should be comfortable with super keyword also. Okay. Who all have done engineering over here? No engineer? Okay. This is a standard calculator. Okay, I call it as simple calculator. And it has simple functionalities, has the digits 1 to 0 to 1, and has the 4 primitive operations plus, minus, multiply, divide. Okay, so this is a simple calculator which is there at the grocery store, which the shopkeeper does his calculation. So what all attributes are there of this calculator?
Number in singles.
Simple sort of operations it can do. Okay, so it has these many buttons. So starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus, minus, multiply, divide, equal. Okay. So one company, let's say from y'all only, gets a contract of making this calculator. Okay. Let's say Amir gets a contract of making this calculator. So Amir takes the estimate that this calculator will write, I'll have to write 30,000 lines of code. How many?
30,000 lines.
Okay, one developer writes, let's say 1,000 lines of code per day. How many lines of code per day? So,
1,000.
how much time will it take Amir to make this calculator? How many days? And let's
30
say,
days.
okay, and let's say one developer charges $100 per day, assuming. So how much cost incurred? Well, okay, let's make it simple calculation. Let's say one developer charges $1,000 per day, rupees 1,000 per day. So how much? How much?
30,000.
So how much total cost will be incurred to Amir?
30,000.
30,000. Okay. Then Amir sells it for 50,000. How much profit has Amir earned?
20.
20,000.
Profit earned 20,000. Okay. And then this calculator, he calls it as simple calc.class, and he has saved that code. He has saved that code on his hard disk. Okay, so in his D drive, my projects, calculator project, and he has saved this over here, simple calc.class. Make sense? So this was in the month of January. Okay. Then in the month of October, a client comes, the same client comes and says, Amir, I am very happy with your work, but this time I want to make a scientific calculator. And it should look something like this. Okay. So it should look something like this. So I'm giving you a hint now. I'm giving you all a very big hint. Plus, I also want some additional features like logarithm, sine, costant, trigonometry, combination, permutation, factorial, power, brackets. The features which are there in a. That's why I asked who has done engineering. So engineering students, they use that.
I use that. I use
I
that.
use that.
calculator.
From
Yes,
Casio,
sir.
right?
I also use that. Sine, cos, theta.
It's from
Under root.
Casio is a very
Square
big
root, cube
manufacturer
root.
of that calculator. So,
Tiny
and they have
Yes,
different numbers,
Casio.
FX100, FX145,
Yes.
right?
Factorial, yes. All
So,
that.
so he says, now I want some additional features in my calculator, and he lists down those features. Okay. To Amir, and he explains Amir what all he wants. So he says, now I want sine, trigonometry, I want the three functions. Okay, then I want factorial, then I want power, then I want to calculate percentage also, then I want brackets
Square
also.
root.
Okay. Then he says, I want combination, permutation, NPR, NCR. Have you heard of that? Okay. Then I want the decimal sign also. Then I want the square root sign also. Okay, he says all these features I want. Then I want logarithms, anti-log, blah, blah, blah. That is all he has specified. Okay. He says, I want log. Also, I want anti-log also. And I want a power button also, which will on and off the calculator. Okay, now Amir researches and studies this. So this calculator from head to toe, this code was for the entire calculator, okay? From the head to toe, this costing was there from year to year. Okay, and Amir has done his master's in business management, okay? And he's from a Gujarati family, assuming. So these guys are very sharp in business. So now this calculator from head to toe, Amir studies and says this will, sir, take 30,000, 60,000 lines of code. How much?
60,000.
So this calculator will take how much?
60,000 lines.
And one developer can write how many lines of code per day?
1,000.
Lines. So how much cost will it incur, Amir?
60,000.
So INR 1,000 per day, let's say a developer will charge. So duration of this calculator will be how much?
60.
And how much
Yes.
cost will it incur, Amir?
60,000. Yes.
And Amir will sell it for 1 lakh. So how much profit will Amir earn?
40,000.
40,000. Now, is there any okay? And that company, he says, the deadline is pretty strict. So if you deliver, okay, within 60 days, if you deliver on the 60th day, I'll pay you 1 lakh. And if you deliver on the 59th day, so 1 day before you deliver, I'll pay you 5,000 rupees per day extra for delivering me faster. So if Amir delivers on 58th day, how much will Amir earn?
1 lakh 10.
1,10,000.
40,000 of the profit, right? The profit earning is the profit, right?
Yes, sir.
So 40,000 of the profit
50.
plus 2 days. So he's earning 50,000, correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So now Amir comes from a businessman family and he knows business. So what logic will Amir apply to earn maximum profit?
Sir, I will add just these new things into my first project.
Beautiful. He says this much code is already done, right?
Yes, sir.
This much code he has already done and he has already saved it on his hard disk. So this part is already done. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So how many lines of he has to code now extra? So he has to code how much lines extra now?
30,000.
Out of this 60,000, 30 are already done, right?
Yes, sir.
So Amir
30
starts his
days.
calculation that I have to only code how much? 30,000 lines I have to only code.
30,000.
Means I have to only pay the developer how many?
30,000.
30,000, right? And he will deliver the project in how many days?
30 days.
30
30
days.
days.
So I am earning a profit of 40,000 rupees over there. No, I'm earning a profit of how much now? 70,000, correct? Profit is how
Yes.
much now? Normal profit.
70,000.
Plus he is delivering it 30 days prior. So 30 into 5,000, correct? Which is how much?
1,50,000. Yes,
Now
1,50,000.
what is his total profit? What is his total profit?
1,50,000.
2,20,000. Yes or no?
2 lakh, 1 lakh.
70,000 from the sale and 1,50,000 from the incentive.
Yes, sir. Correct. Yes.
So now imagine the profit has multiplied 550 times. 550% jump in profit. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Just by
Correct.
using his common sense, just by saving this file, just by saving this file on his hard disk. If this file was not saved and deleted, then would there be a profit?
No, sir.
60,000.
Yes. So what do you all think when these big brands, manufacturers of automobile, they release a new version? From 13 they release 14, from 14 they release 15. What do you think? They make the product from scratch all over again? Or they
No,
just
no.
keep on enhancing the features of the existing project?
Yes, sir.
Enhance the exam.
So
Enhancing the
this is,
future of
so I'm gonna
existing.
now make this and save this also, right? He will save this also, and he will save this on his hard disk. So how will he save it now? Same at this location, he will save this file also. Now, which is this file? Scientificcalc.class or .java, whatever. Yes or no?
Yes, yes, sir.
So now which calculator was made first? Simple calc or scientific calc?
Simple calci.
So this becomes the base class. This becomes the
Base class. Okay.
or the super class or the parent class.
Parent class. Okay.
And from this, I inherit this over here. So in Java, we use the extends keyword. Which keyword we use?
Extends. Yes.
So when I'm making the scientific calculator, I will extend the simple calculator. So I will get the orange part. Only I have to add is the, let's say, green part. So inheritance means code reusability. What does inheritance mean?
Code reusability.
So every time we don't have to code, we can reuse the existing code, just extend that code. So the class which was made first is called as super class. Okay. So stick to these two terminologies now. And the class which is made later on, scientific calculator, you can call it as derived class, or you can call it as a subclass, or you can call it as a child class. Okay, so these are different synonyms, but I want you all to stick to this terminology. So whenever I will be referring it as what names? Yes. So what
Base
will I
class,
call
super
the
class,
parent?
parent class.
Base class.
No, I have put it in purple.
Super class.
Yes. Okay. So if you are giving your college Viva, base is acceptable in your college Viva. Parent is acceptable in your college Viva. But if you are giving an interview, then the interviewer will be more impressed if you use the super keyword. So how will we address the parent class as? Yes, no,
Super
maybe.
keyword.
And how will we address the child class as?
Subclasses.
Getting it?
Subclass. Okay.
Henceforth, I will not be using these keywords. I will be sticking with super and sub. So there will be minimum confusion and we all will be on the same line. Okay. So if I use base, at times I use base, at times I use parent, it will lead to ambiguity and confusion. So let's finalize one terminology. So which keyword will I address the parent class as? Yes, guys.
Super class.
And the child class as?
Subclass.
Subclass. Okay.
Okay, then we have types of inheritance in Java. Okay. So one father in his will, he writes down his property that the property should be given to his only son. That father has only one son. So the property of the father is inherited by whom? Son, correct?
Son, absolutely.
So this
Yes.
is called as single inheritance. Called as what? So how many superclass, how many subclass? Yes, guys.
One
One super,
superclass
one
and
sub.
one subclass.
Class and one
So when you have one
subclass.
superclass and one subclass, that
Yes, sir.
inheritance is called as what?
Single inheritance.
Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Then second type is the father has two sons. Father has two sons. So what happens over here?
One super, two sub.
One super and two sub. So the
Sub.
property is given to both the sons. Right? So father and has two sons
So multiple
Son one.
inheritance.
and son 2. Okay. So now how many superclass
One,
One,
and how many subclass?
two.
two.
So subclass 1 and subclass 2. This is called as hierarchical inheritance. Called as what?
Hierarchical
Hierarchical.
inheritance.
So when there is one
Hierarchical
subclass,
inheritance.
when there is one superclass and there are many, okay, they can be many. If you had 3 sons, 4 sons, 5 sons, blah blah blah. It's called as what?
Hierarchical.
Hierarchical inheritance.
Then the grandfather gave it to the father and the father gave it to the son. This is which inheritance?
Multi-level.
Multi-level. Father and father gave it to the son.
Son.
Okay. Inheritance, no, is bottom up. Arrowheads, no, inheritance should go bottom up. Should go how? Arrowhead should go how in inheritance?
Multiple.
No, the arrowheads
Oh,
should go from
upward.
bottom up. Should go how?
Bottom.
Bottom to up.
Bottom
Yeah.
up.
So remember this. I'll come in detail later on this. But as of now, you just remember the arrow. Okay, so we have tendency of showing it downwards, but it should be shown upwards. It should be shown upwards. So now how many parent, how many subclass, how many superclass? So this is superclass
Yes.
and this is a subclass, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Class 1 and this internally acts as a superclass also.
Yes,
So
sir.
this will be called an intermediate class. We'll call it as a
Intermediate class.
the class which is a super as well as sub plays the role of both the classes. It's called as inter and this is subclass 2. Correct?
It's also a derived class, we can say.
See, a father is which class? Sub or super? Just look at this diagram.
Subclass.
Subclass. And when I look at this diagram,
Father will be a superclass.
so the class which is a sub which plays dual roles, class which plays dual roles of super and sub both is called as,
Intermediate.
Class.
okay, and this
Okay.
is called as multi-level inheritance, called as.
Multi-level.
Multi-level inheritance.
So there was one inheritance in C++, which is not there in Java. So that inheritance was permissible in C++, but Java guys do not permit that inheritance. It is multiple inheritance. Which inheritance? Which inheritance does
Multiple.
Dual
Java
role.
restrict? So Java does not permit multiple inheritance. That is mother, father, child. The attributes of the mother and the attributes of the
Yeah.
father is inherited by the son.
Here is the two superclass.
Now, how many superclass?
Two.
This is superclass 1, right?
Yes.
And this is superclass 2. And this is,
Subclass.
so this inheritance is not permissible in Java. It is called as multiple inheritance. What is it called as?
Inheritance. But sir, Java doesn't support a multiple inheritance. Then what?
Then why we are rude?
Ah,
This is not possible in Java. Okay. Just for the knowledge wise, you all should know what is multiple inheritance, and Java does not support this. Okay. There's also the catch over here. That also has an asterisk conditions apply. When I say this
Sir,
term,
is-
Java does not
not
support
support.
multiple
Sir, which
inheritance.
language supports multiple inheritance?
So
So-
Java supports multiple level inheritance, but not the multiple inheritance.
Yeah, Java does not support multiple inheritance. There's a condition apply over there. Okay. There is a condition apply. Conditions apply. When I write this statement,
Yes, sir.
okay, so Java does not support multiple inheritance with regards to classes. The actual answer is, the complete sentence is,
Regard to classes.
but with regards to interfaces, it supports. With regards to which topic?
Interfaces.
It
It will be
supports.
support.
Who can read this sentence now complete for me? Hmm? Who can read?
So inheritance
anyone.
with regards to classes, multiple inheritance.
Let me copy this somewhere else and show it to you all. What I mean by this sentence. Okay, so you all should now start going deeper in Java. Don't have shallow knowledge. Try to go as deep as possible in the understanding. So who can interpret this sentence for me?
Java does not support multiple inheritance with regard to class, with regard to interface. It supports multiple inheritance. Condition of model.
So if I say, does Java support multiple inheritance, what will be your answer? If asked in the interview, does Java support?
So not for the classes, but does support for
with regards to
interfaces.
Perfect. This was the absolute answer. Do not give close-ended answers. What are open-ended answers or what are close-ended answers?
Sir,
It
Java
may
does
be
not
both.
support the multiple inheritance with classes in Java, but we can achieve multiple inheritance only through the interfaces.
Yes, my question is, what is the meaning of open-ended answer and close-ended answer?
So open-ended, that
Answer is
it depends. This is an open-ended answer. It can be and it cannot be.
no. When you answer in yes and no, objective type answer when you give. And when you elaborate your answer, that is your open-ended answer. So if in the interview they ask, does Java support multiple inheritance? Do not give a close-ended answer. Means what?
No, just say
Do not
no.
say yes, no. Do not say no.
No. Yes.
But explain in a very elaborative way that Java, sir, if you're asking with, so you can cross question. Sir, you ask in which regards? You ask this question in which context? If you ask in regards to classes, then the answer is no, that Java does not support multiple inheritance with regards to classes. And if you ask in the context of interfaces, then yes, Java does support multiple interfaces with regards to interfaces. Got it?
Well, can you explain about interface?
That is a different topic altogether. That will jump in subsequent sessions. So that will come in the following. You can park it if you have got this in mind. Then once we
Okay.
do that, then you can remove the from parking lot. But that will come in the maybe this week only it will come interfaces. Okay, so I'm putting this in the chat. Who was the chat guy? Who was the chat guy who was given the responsibility of dumping? Okay. So, and then what we can do is we can mix this, what is called hybrid.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, so what is the meaning of hybrid?
Sir, it's mixed two or more above type of inheritance.
So if I mix any of the two types of inheritance, if I mix any of, so this is not there, right? So we can eliminate this multiple for the time being, we can eliminate this. So the bottom rule is one class will have only one superclass. What is the bottom rule?
class has one super
One
class.
class will have
One
only
superclass.
only a single. You
Superclass.
cannot have more than one superclass. See over here. This sun is having how many superclasses?
One.
This
One
sun having
super.
how many superclasses?
One.
One superclass.
This class having how many superclasses?
One.
And this class having this
One.
class how many?
The father
One.
has one superclass.
And this son has how many?
Two
One
super
superclass.
Two
So
superclass.
immediate superclass, Farooq. Don't take multiple.
sir, one immediate superclass.
That's it. That's it. That's it. So each class can have only one single superclass, immediate superclass, not more than that. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if I try to mix up the inheritance, okay. So now I want you all to tell me. Now I'll take a different color. This is which type of inheritance?
Single.
Single.
Yes, sir.
So the and now this green part is what type of inheritance? Hmm?
Multi-inheritance.
Hmm?
Multi-inheritance, which is not
No.
hierarchical.
The
Hierarchical
the
inheritance.
purple part, which is this. Blue part is which inheritance?
Single inheritance, and the green part is hierarchical inheritance.
And the green part is which inheritance? Green part,
Hierarchical
Hierarchical.
inheritance.
hierarchical inheritance. Okay.
Hierarchical.
Now when I mix both of them,
It's called
Multi.
hybrid.
both of them, so this red inheritance is which inheritance?
Hybrid.
Hybrid inheritance. Good one. Getting it?
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
But sir,
Got
how
it. Yes.
is it possible to inheritance? Because does not support the multi-level inheritance. It's also a
Multi-level.
multi-level inheritance.
Multiple.
Sorry, multiple.
So where is multiple happening over here? So if I name
When
the
a child class is access a two parent class is called a multiple
Where,
inheritance. Here's who doesn't support a two parent class.
so if I have these classes A, B, C, D, class A superclass, correct?
yes, sir.
Sir, use
Class B,
intermediate class. Yes, sir.
subclass. Class B, subclass.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Subclass and intermediate class. Correct.
How many parents does B have? Immediate
B
parent.
have all.
Okay.
When I
Yes,
mean
sir.
parent, I mean immediate parent. I mean what?
Yes, sir. Correct.
No four fathers. No
Hmm.
don't consider four fathers, grandfather and great grandfather. Don't consider that. Immediate parent, I mean. So how many immediate parent is A having? B having?
Sir, one.
Hmm? Yes.
0.
Why is A not a parent of B?
If we will consider this subclass, then we can say yes.
My question is how many parents is B having?
1.
One.
Immediate parent, right? Is one. Then how
Right.
many parent is C having? Immediate parent.
One.
1.
And D
One.
having,
Immediate parent
One.
one and super parent one.
right?
Right.
So this is legitimate. This is a legal syntax. Is there any
This
confusion?
is not multiple. This one is single and one is hierarchical, and that's all.
When we mix any of the two, any of these three, and we can form our own inheritance, that is called as hybrid inheritance. Understood?
Okay. CBA and DBA.
Yeah, you can mix them and you can write your classes in this order. Okay, so let's start with the programming and let's start a program on single inheritance. Okay, so when I'll do single inheritance, let me take an example. Okay, so right now, if I take individual from y'all, so y'all I will call as person. I will call as what? Class person. So what all attributes is a person having? So let's say if we are in India, we will say long Aadhaar card, right? Aadhaar number, correct? Then what all attributes is a person having? String, name, and string, address, okay, and long mobile number.
Sir, we
Yes.
can see only whiteboard.
Not able to see?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So how many attributes is the class person having now?
4 attributes.
Which are they?
Yes.
Aadhaar number, name, address, and mobile number.
Okay, so now I just want you all to keep on populating this. Total number of data members. How many?
4.
4 data members.
4, right?
Right, sir.
Now, if I write a no args constructor,
Hmm.
if I write a no args constructor, will look like, how will it look like?
Public person equal
Public
to
person,
public person and then
and then give
parentheses.
the default. So before Aadhaar number, can I write this? Yes or no?
Yes, you can.
Yes, sir.
Right? You
It's
can write,
instance level.
but it's an instance variable, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
So I just write this is the default Aadhaar number. Default name I will give Alice. And default address I will give New Delhi. Okay, and default mobile number I will say 111 XY. So how many data members have I set in the
4.
no args constructor?
4.
The number of instance variables, correct?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now if I go and make a parameterized constructor. So how many parameters do I have to pass to it?
4. These are 4 parameters.
First will be long,
First one is a long,
Long,
and second was
string,
string, and then string, and then long.
long,
string, name, third is string,
Long.
address, and fourth is long mobile number.
Okay.
Correct?
Yes.
Yes. And then how will I say
Sir, what is long?
long is a bigger
Data
integer,
type.
a big
Long.
non-decimal number, a bigger non-decimal number. Yes, Farooq? A small non-decimal is called as int, a big non-decimal is called as long. Like a small fraction number is called as float, a big fraction number is called as double.
Yes, sir.
Farooq, what the difference?
Got it, sir. Sir, the small decimal number is called hint.
Small decimal is called as float.
Float.
Decimal or non-decimal?
Decimal.
Float. And
And
big decimal is called as
Double.
double.
yeah, and small non-decimal is called as
Int.
and big non-decimal is
Long.
called as.
Long.
Long.
So how int and long is there? Similarly, we have
Float and double.
float and double. And if there's a number which is even lesser than int, is called as byte. It's called as
Byte.
yeah. So this is the hierarchy. The number which is very small,
Also, bit and byte.
what is byte. Then a bigger. So smallest non-decimal byte, big non-decimal int, biggest non-decimal long.
Smallest,
byte.
can we use here a bit also in
No, there's
place
no
of
bit. Java
byte?
there's no bit. Starts with byte.
Okay,
Starts with byte directly.
okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So now, what is this causing? Aadhaar number equal to Aadhaar number is causing confusion. So this Aadhaar number on the RHS is of the constructor, and this on the LHS is of the class, right?
Yes, sir. Got
So
it.
which is the instance level variable on this? LHS or RHS?
LHS,
Sir,
LHS.
repeat it, sir, please.
LHS, then we use this
This
keyword.
on the RHS
difference.
is your constructor variable, correct?
Correct.
And on the LHS is your class variable, correct?
Class.
Yes,
Instance
sir.
variable.
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah,
class which variable? Instance or static?
Instance.
instance.
So if you have the same name, you can just differentiate by saying on the LHS is the instance variable.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Definitely, yes.
Or else it will create ambiguity. So my question now over here is, how many variables did I set in the noargs constructor?
4.
Okay, total number of data members, how many?
4.
4.
4, right? So how many data members did I assign value to in the noargs constructor? Yes, tell me the answer of this.
4.
4, which is equal to
4.
What?
Which is equal to instance variable.
Which is equal to the number
Data
of
member,
instance
data
variables.
member,
Equal to data members.
The
data
answer
member.
is 4, which should be
Okay.
same as the total, tell me, number of instance variables in that class, correct?
Okay.
Yes, guys, are you understanding this, what I'm trying to show?
Is it
Yes, sir.
possible we
Hmm?
assign only 2 values, Aadhaar and name,
Create a constructor to, normally if we
out
are
of
writing
4?
a constructor, we initialize all the instance variable. If you don't want to give any value, just keep it blank.
Okay.
Okay, so if I don't wanted to give Alice, I will just keep unknown. Okay,
Or empty also.
empty, so the default is doing for empty.
Okay.
You can give empty also. You want to keep like this?
Is it?
Default is doing null, right?
But if I'm overriding the noargs constructor, it will override the default. Now default will not work.
Yes.
Okay, so once you give a noargs constructor, you are overriding the default constructor. So you can give whatever you want to give. So how many values have I assigned over here?
4.
4, which is equal to the
Data members.
Data member
so
or instance
here
variable.
also in the parameterized constructor, how many data members have I assigned?
4.
4.
Which is equal to the
Data member.
I'll getting what I'm trying to say.
No args constructor.
No are as well as
How many
parameter.
data members have I assigned in the parameterized constructor?
4.
4.
Or
So
Yes,
data
Because-
member is equals to the parameterized constructor.
So
yes.
4 is what? Same as?
The parameterized constructor.
same as
Data
parameter.
member is equals to the number of parameterized constructor.
My question over here is how many data members am I initializing in the parameterized constructor?
4.
4. So my question, counter question is why 4?
It's a
Because
match. Yes,
Because we have 4 data
total
members.
total number of instance variables are how many?
4.
4.
4. That's why 4. Correct? And how many arguments am I passing to the parameterized constructor?
4 as well as the data member.
So this why everywhere 4, 4, 4?
Because our data
Total
member
number
is total.
4.
number.
Because
No,
total
instance
number of data
variable.
members is 4 in the class. That's why.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Are you all getting what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Getting right? Okay, so now if I copy this code and paste it in Eclipse, okay? So let me parallelly code also with you. So where is my Eclipse? Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me make a new package, new project,
Mhm.
and I will call it as inheritance demo. And here we come, and here I make a new class by the name person, okay? And I will paste all this and I will remove the unwanted things. Maybe I'll comment them.
Comment.
Okay, I can just comment this. Okay. So which has not made the class. So class person. Okay. What all attributes will the person have?
Aadhaar
Integer.
number, name, address. Name.
What we took long, right?
Yes.
So we can just copy this line.
Aadhaar and
Copy
mobile
this
number.
line
Yes.
and paste it and remove the replace the comma with the semicolon, right? And this data. Okay, I'm not giving any specifier over here on purpose. Okay, I'm not giving any specifier here on purpose. So I'll come to that.
The default value means default access
Package
specifier.
value. Okay, so this is my default constructor, NOAX constructor. This is my parameterized constructor. Okay. And now if I want to write a function called as void display person, okay, public void display person. What all attributes will this function display? What will it display? Aadhaar
Aadhaar
number.
number, name, address, and mobile number.
What this dot Aadhaar number, correct? Then what? Name is this dot name, address is, and mobile number is. This dot mobile. Is this making sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now this employee, this person joins a company. So what does he become? This person,
Member.
he joins a company. So what does he become?
A member, I mean, the employee of the company,
He
the
becomes
member
an
of the
employee, right? So this person he joins a company. So he becomes an employee, correct?
Right.
So when he's doing his registration in the company, won't the company store his Aadhaar number? In your case, social security number. Won't the company store his name, his address, mobile number? Yes,
It
no,
will be-
maybe.
Yes, sir, it will store.
Yes.
Should I write them again over here in the employee? Or can't we just inherit it?
Inherited.
All will come again over here, right? Or no?
Yes.
Right.
Right. sir.
They will come again because the company will also store all these records.
Mhm.
Plus, along with that, the company will give him an employee number, right?
Right.
And the company will give a designation. And the company will give him a salary.
Hmm.
So my question is, how
Yes.
many attributes should I put in this employee table? 7 or 3?
Sir,
How many should
7.
I write? How many should I write over here?
Three, sir.
Write all
Extra
7
three.
Sir,
and then do what? Extends from the person, correct?
Yes.
yes, sir.
So I can make a class. Which class can I make?
Class
Employee.
employee
And
Right.
say what? Extends
person.
Two
by
person.
virtue of inheritance. It will get the 4, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All I have to do is write the remaining 3. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now my question is, now in your employee class, how many total data members are there?
7. Total 7.
Yes, I want everyone to answer. If I write this code, how much total data members are there in the employee class?
Sir, extend with only 3.
No, I want total. We are extending. So I go over here. I make a class called as employee. You're able to see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I write over here employee extends person. What happens now? And I give this much. So now my question is the same which I asked you all previously. How many total data members are there?
Sir, only 3.
Total.
Umar sir.
I'll click on the total.
उमर सर आप ये बताएं क्या could you please explain what is data member?
Data members, they know, no? See, let's take this example. How many total
Okay,
Yes, sir.
buttons are
in
there
a class,
and LC?
sir, for the clearance, in a class having a method and along with the some variables, attribute variables, then method and variables both are data member.
मैं आता हूँ उस पे शाहनवाज भाई. देखो,
Okay.
my question is how many total buttons are there in the scientific calculator? The orange and the green both, right?
Yes, sir.
Or
Yes.
only the
6.
green?
Yes, sir.
About
Only green is a 3.
Part of,
Sorry.
even though मैंने इसमें ये code नहीं किया, I have not done the coding of this because I have inherited it from here, correct?
Yes, sir.
But these buttons have come over there by virtue of inheritance. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
By data members know what we mean. What I have told them is, Shanaz bhai, this is data member and this is member method. So if I have a calculate sal, so calculate sal, so we have been addressing as member method. So these two things we are putting in a class. Data member are the attributes of the class and the functionalities I am referring them as member method. So that's why I'm saying over here data member. So data member, I am not including the methods. That we are referring them as member methods.
I put this question just because the clearance for the students. They
Mhm.
can understand what is the data member, what the mean of data member.
Yeah,
Where
data
we
member
can manipulate the. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
and the functions I am referring them as member methods.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Go ahead, go ahead.
So now my question is, how many total data members are
Three.
there in employee class? I have done over here extends person, so bear in mind.
Yes.
See, for the
Four,
employee,
sir. Uh,
In the
persons have a
employee
four and
class.
employee have a three. Totally seven.
Yeah, total. I want total. This is
seven.
I'm emphasizing on the
Seven.
total
According
keyword.
to me, seven and then I don't know.
Yeah, so Shabana says 7. Okay, who else? Who's saying 3? I heard a lot of 3s. What does Amir say?
Sir, 7.
Farooq?
The total 7.
Yes. And Mehtab?
Yes, sir,
And
seven.
Soumya?
Yes, sir, seven.
So who was
Extend
saying
with
3?
three.
I had a lot of very distinct 3 I could hear.
Mehtab was saying
Yes, sir.
Total,
I am saying three, but
7. Mehtab was saying 3.
total I'm saying.
No.
We have used extends, bear in mind.
Yes,
Total
sir.
seven.
extend with three data members with four.
Extend will reuse the remaining 4 of person also, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And
We-
so 4 of person and 3 of employee. Total how many?
Seven.
7.
Okay. And see, I spoke to one of my teachers when I was learning Java, and he told me that in the corporate world, code duplication, which what is the word I'm using?
Duplication.
Or duplication.
Considered as bad etiquettes in programming.
Mhm.
Is considered as
Bad etiquette.
bad etiquettes in programming if you do code duplication. So you should not write the same code again and again. So bear in mind that also, okay? This etiquette also bear in mind. So now my question is, I want to make a no args constructor for employee class. What will I write?
Public employee. Yes.
So how many variables do I have to assign over here now?
7.
E number designation 7.
So total we have agreed upon is total is 7, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
But 4 is already assigned. So here we have to just assign E number
So those
designation
4
and
are being assigned where?
in person class.
In person class what? Person's class what?
No. No args
In
constructor.
person class, which one?
Yes, sir. Here.
In person
No
class,
args.
no as constructor, correct?
Yes, sir. Correct.
So now I am in which function? This is where, you've been to the mall wherein they put a full roadmap of that mall and then they give you a pointer. You are here.
Yes, sir.
Who has seen such drawings? So you know that you are on the second floor, third floor, or you are in this room and this is the exit, path for exit. So my question is, we are where? This is which part? Okay, I'll come back to the drawing. Where is the drawing? Yeah. So now tell me the black class and the red class. Which is the black class?
Class person.
Super
Means?
class.
Super class.
And which is the red class?
Subclass.
Class employee.
So
Subclass.
this much we have understood. Now my question is, we are where? In which class?
We are in
Subclass, sir.
subclass.
Subclass. This is
Yes.
this is which method?
Subclass method.
We are in
Subclass
the
construction.
Subclass
Subclass
constructor.
constructor.
We are in the subclass constructor, correct?
Yes,
Correct,
sir.
sir.
Or you can say we are in the subclass no args constructor.
Right, sir.
Correct? So from here, I want to call this. Which is this?
Yeah. Public person.
No, there's no need to mention here.
No, I'm asking which is this code. Line number 9 to 15 is what?
No
Uh,
constructor
Of which
person
class?
Person class.
Means
Super class.
super
Super
class, right?
class.
Yes.
So I already have a constructor out of these 7.
Hmm.
The 4 which are there, Aadhaar number, name, address, and mobile number.
Right.
Yes,
Can
sir.
be initialized by that. So directly I can call
We
that,
can
right?
directly call that.
Yes, sir.
So that
Super,
is done by the super keyword. Which keyword?
super keyword.
Super K.
Okay.
And if I don't pass any parameters, it is calling the
No args.
no args constructor of the
Super class.
perfect of the. So that constructor will initialize what for me out of these 7?
4,
And what are left now?
3.
3.
Which are they?
This dot e number. Then we mention here anything.
Employer number, designation, and salary.
Very good.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So I'll say full stack developer and dot salary. I will say as 9,000 XYZ. Understood this?
Yes, sir.
And now tell me, what am I writing over here? This is which constructor?
If you write here, then it's called
This is which constructor?
parameterized constructor.
So in parameterized constructor, how many arguments will I pass?
3 arguments pass.
3
I'll
arguments.
pass 7.
Here we pass.
I'll pass how
7.
many? I will pass 7. And then I will pass the 4 to the super
Okay.
class parameterized constructor.
Mhm.
See, when I will total number of parameters will be how many?
7.
Total number of, see, how many total data members are there?
7.
So this no args constructor should initialize how many variables?
3.
7, no. So it is passing
7.
to the
Mhm.
that you do
Right,
this
correct.
4, I will do this 3.
Okay.
So total number of parameters will be also how many?
So, sir, can we pass a shortcut like that, a super method here also?
Yeah, we can do that. I'm going to come to that. First, I want to do the parameters.
Okay,
So
7
how many
parameters.
total parameters will be there for employee? Parameters to parameterized constructor will be equal to the number of data members. So how many are they?
7.
Which all?
Aadhaar number and name
Huh?
and what was that?
Things.
Address,
Address.
mobile number,
Right.
And
employer number,
Designation.
designation, and 9,000 salary.
and
Yeah, designation and salary.
so out of this, the parameterized constructor of the super class is doing which all?
Yes.
This one.
Person.
So call the
Person.
super and pass these 4 to it.
The battery is running. Okay. Okay.
Now which 4 are left? Which 4 are left? Which 3 are left?
Yes, sir.
So like this, you can also invoke methods of your parent class, your super class. So if I just say super, it points to the constructor. It points to the,
Constructor.
Constructor.
and when the bracket is empty, will point to the
No are constructor.
And when I
of
say
the
super, it
superclass.
points to the constructor. And when I pass parameters to it, it will point to the
Parameterized.
parameterized constructor of the superclass. Getting?
Yes, sir.
Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now whenever we call the super constructor,
Mhm.
we have to call it as the first line of our constructor over here. Where are we over here? This is which class constructor?
No are
Sorry, sir?
constructor.
This is which class, which constructor?
This is this employee class constructor.
Which is
Employee class means subclass.
subclass, which constructor?
No arc constructor.
And what are we calling over here?
Super.
Class constructor. No arcs.
So whenever a constructor calls a constructor, it should be the first line. You cannot call the constructor on the second or the third or the last line. Not possible. She is throwing an
Why?
error.
Why?
That is the error message. See what it reads. Someone read it for me.
Yes, sir.
Constructor call must be the first statement in a constructor.
Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So I have to give it as the first sentence, first statement. Similarly over here, okay? This rule applies only for constructor, applies only for
Constructor.
not for any other method. Okay, now if I want to display the employee, I will make a function called as what? Display. What all attributes of the employee I have to display? All 7, right? I have to display all 7 attributes, correct? But out of which the first 4 attributes are being displayed by which function? By which function?
Display.
Hello.
Display
Yes, sir.
function.
Display
Display
person is
function.
displaying me the Aadhaar number, name, address, and mobile number.
Yes, sir.
Correct. So if I want to call any other function also, I can call with the help of super dot and that function name. And the remaining 3 I can display, right?
Yes, sir.
The remaining 3 I can display over here, which is employee number is this dot, then designation is this dot, and mobile number is which is that salary, correct? Here, if I want to display the employee details first, and then I want to display his personal details, I can call super over here also. This is permissible. This is allowed. Only in the case of constructor calling, super should be the first statement. Got it?
Oh,
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Now, if I go to the main class,
Repeat,
then will
please.
I if I go to the main class, whose object will I make?
Sir, can you repeat? For the constructor, we need to be superclass at the top, but for what we need to be, we can
For non-constructors.
no our constructor.
No, non, which are not constructors.
Non-constructor.
Normal methods.
Okay.
Normal
Okay.
methods. We have VIP method. What is constructor? Constructor is a VIP method. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So for VIP method calling, that is a constructor, it should be the very first line. For normal functions, you can call it anywhere. You can call it here. You can call it in the middle also. Then I want to show his designation. After that, I want to show his personal details and then salary. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now if the father had 100 million and the son had $50 million, how many did the father have? And the son had
100 million.
and the father gave the 50 million to son. So now how much does the son have total after inheritance?
50 million.
So the robbers and the thieves, they will go after whom? The father or the son?
The father.
Why? Father has nothing. The thieves will go running after whom?
Son.
The son or the father?
Son.
Hello?
Son, sir.
Someone said father. I'm waiting for his answer. Why he said father? When the father has nothing in his pocket, why will the thieves run after the father? What will they loot from him?
Sir, initially the father, and after
Father has given the
inheriting,
money.
then the son.
Then, so whose object will we make in the main method? Who has everything?
Father.
Whose object will we make? Person or employee?
Employee.
Why?
The person.
Because
Person has given everything to employee, no?
okay. But sir, employee have a one data
See,
number of person
the
also
employee
included
has
with them.
all the 7 attributes, correct?
Yes. Employee
So
have.
it is sufficient if we make the object of the employee because he
Yes.
has all the 7 data members.
Right.
So we will make object of which class?
Employee.
So now if I make the object of the employee class with no args constructor,
Mhm.
what all values does the employee object have now? So employee object has 7 attributes, right?
Right.
Yes, sir.
What is the Aadhaar card of this employee now? E1. So you have to see the object is made using which constructor?
Person.
Which constructor?
No args. No
I'm
args
making the object
constructor of
using which constructor? No args constructor. So we'll go to the no args of the employee. Will come here, correct?
right.
And it is calling super of which
Person.
Person.
person's super without any parameters. We will go to where?
Super class. No arg
Super
constructor
class,
of
no
super
args
class.
constructor will come here,
Yeah.
and that person's Aadhaar number will be
4x1 and 4x2.
so his Aadhaar number will be this employee E1. Aadhaar number will be 111 whatever 222. Then what will be his name?
Alice.
What will be his name? We are fetching from the no args constructor. Name will be Alice.
Yes.
What will be the address?
New Delhi.
New Delhi. What will be the mobile number?
111.
111. Then remaining employee number, designation and salary will take from where? Will take from here.
Employee.
Correct? What is the employee number?
Instructor. 111.
Okay, let's give 777. Let's give what? It does not. So what will be the employee number?
777.
Then what will be the designation?
FST.
And what will be the salary?
9,000.
So this is how that object will be populated. If it is made from no args constructor, correct?
Correct, sir.
If I go and now display this object,
Mhm.
if I go and display this object, E1 dot display employee, what will it display me? All these details, right? Aadhaar number is 111222. The name is Alice. Address is New Delhi. Mobile number is 111. Key number is 777. Designation is FSD. Salary is 9,000. Correct? Let's try to run this code. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Who
sir.
understood this code till here?
One.
Yes. Who has understood all these three classes? Employee, person, and single inheritance Java.
Yes, sir, I understand.
Yes, sir.
Crisp and I want a crisp and clear answer I want. So let me shout out the names. Shabana,
Yes, sir.
on a
I
scale of
understand.
1 to 10, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much have you understood?
8, sir.
8. Where 2 did you miss out?
Sir, I need practice, sir. After that,
practice will cover up the
I have
Okay. Amir,
So 10.
perfect. Farooq,
8, sir. Need some practice.
where is the 2 lagging? What part did you miss? Side, this part I slipped and I couldn't understand.
No, sir, no part missing, but I need some practice because now the concepts are increasing, so we need to memorize it.
Okay, practice. Okay, very good.
Yes,
Ataullah,
sir.
Same, I also need some practice about this. I also need some practice.
on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate today's understanding?
For the concept, I will say 9.
Very good. And you need to practice. Very good. And Mehtab,
Yes, sir. 8 is here. I need
8.
to more practice than
Okay.
everyone.
Concept you all are getting, right? Now it's all
Yes,
up to your
sir.
practice and understanding. Okay, so
Sir, one
now
question from my side.
tell me.
Sir, how a no argument constructor is different from default constructor?
Shabana will answer this for you. Yes, Shabana, please answer this question on my behalf.
Hello. आवाज नहीं आ रही थी? Hello.
Yes, Shabana, he's
हाँ,
asking
आ
what
रही।
is the difference between no args and default.
क्वेश्चन क्या आपका व्हाट्स योर क्वेश्चन मैं था
Question is, what is the
How a
difference
no
between no args and
yeah.
default?
हाउ
No
Hello?
arg constructor is different from default constructor.
Okay.
No args
Default
constructor
constructor have no arguments and parameters. It's called a no arg constructor. And if you use a arg constructor, it's mean that you have passed a value in a constructor. It's called a argument constructor or a parameterized constructor. Parameterized means passing some values in a
वो
constructor.
पैरामीटर पूछ ही नहीं रहा है, वो पूछ रहा है डिफॉल्ट और नो आर्ग्स.
सर एक मिनट आवाज नहीं आ रही सर मेन इश्यूज ये हैं.
आपकी आवाज साफ आ रही है.
तो वहां से बंद करो प्लीज. ओके नाउ क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट सर?
नो आर्ग्स और डिफॉल्ट में डिफरेंस क्या है?
सर मैं आंसर करूं?
हाँ करो करो
Okay.
करो.
Sir, actually,
Default.
default basically one which is already stored in the Java virtual machine, and the no args is the initial value which we have assigned to the constructor.
Yes,
This is default.
that is not default. That is no args constructor where we can initialize the value.
Yes, this is the no args.
Where is
Default is already in the virtual machine,
initialize
Java virtual
value.
machine. Like
It's called
Alice
a
is
no
the
arg
initial value.
constructor. Where you
one by one.
initialize value.
Shabana, you can stop. There's overlapping
Okay.
happening.
Okay, sir.
I'll explain. Then you all can
Yes.
add to
Sir,
it.
I was saying, sir, that the default is already been in the Java virtual machine, and the
Yes.
no arg is the initial value which we added. Like Alice is the initial value which we entered. This is the no arg.
Yes, correct.
two different objects.
See, Mehtab,
It means the default constructor simply invoke the superclass constructor with no argument, right, sir?
default constructor which is already there in Java, and whatever
Yes,
data
sir.
type, data member is of int type, it will initialize to
Okay.
0. And if it is
Okay.
of double type, it will initialize to
Okay.
0.0. And
Yes,
the
sir.
string type will initialize to null,
Null,
and
Mhm.
Boolean type will initialize to false.
false.
So a
False.
constructor which does this initial values assigning is called as your
Mhm.
default constructor, and it is already present for each class in Java. Okay.
Okay.
If I just make a
Okay.
class, so if I just make a class student, now have I given any constructor over here? I just give roll number, and I just
Mhm.
give a string name, and I give double percentage. Have I specified any constructor over here?
No.
No. So if I just say public void display student, and I call the display student function, what will it display
0,
me?
0 null 0.0.
What will it display me? Roll number is this dot roll number. And if I just call this function, and name is this dot name, and percentage is this dot percentage. So have I written any constructor in this class, Mehtab? No. So if
Yes,
I
sir.
go out of this class, let's say over here, I make a new class stud main. Okay. In that I make main method, and I make an object of this class. Student S1 is new student. So my question is, what values will the S1 object have? So as a programmer, I have not given any constructor. It will use Java's default constructor. So what will be roll number?
0,
What will be
Zero.
name?
null,
Null.
and
Null.
0.
Percentage.
0.00.
Now I don't want to give those values, but I want to give value as 1 Alice 40.0 to all the objects which I make.
So
So
it
what
will be
will I
no
do?
args.
I will make a
It
no
will
args
be no
constructor. So I will
Okay,
say
sir.
public student, and I will say
This dot roll number. This dot name.
getting it now.
This dot. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. This is the previous concept. Yes, sir.
This is the
Yes, sir.
difference between no args and
Default.
default. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So now this no args will override the default now. Now the no args will override the default. Now it will not use the default anymore once I have given the no args. Getting it?
Okay.
Okay. So coming back over here. So what is the difference between this and super? This belongs to the current class and super belongs to the parent class. Getting it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now in this display employee,
Sir,
in this
this belongs to the
current class.
Current class.
current. Do you mean
So now
current
I
by
make
the
this
subclass?
same class, same. See now this SCS function is in which class?
Super
SCS
class.
function is in which
Constructor.
Employee class.
employee class, right?
Sir.
And the employee class over here, right?
Yes, sir.
Now I want to call this SCS function in the display employee function. How will I call it?
This. Yes, sir.
This dot SCS. Getting it?
Yes, sir. Got it.
So current, if you want to invoke a current class method, call this. And if you want to invoke a parent class method, called super.
Super. Yes, sir.
And just while invoking the constructor, you have to be extra careful that while invoking the constructor, it should be the first line of the invocation.
Super should be first. Yes.
Getting it?
Yeah. Okay.
And the
Sir,
other
Yes,
thing,
sir.
Sir,
there
can
is
you
one
repeat
question,
this
sir.
by invoking?
by calling, invoking means calling.
Repeat the sentence, sir, please. Bang.
Invoking means call.
Invokes.
Invoke
Call.
means calling a
Call.
function. So what are we doing at line number 31?
Sir, we are calling the display person with the super class.
Of the super,
Display person,
of the super class, right?
right?
Right.
See, if I have one more display function over here also, I have a display person over here. What am I doing over here? This we will discuss tomorrow. Like what is happening over here.
Overloading.
Okay.
ये constructor overloading.
Loading, overriding.
I think riding.
Okay, now if I want to call, this
Is the
display person,
difference between
I want to display
loading
SCS.
and riding, sir? Function of overloading and riding.
Yeah, we'll do that. So, what is this display person is in which I'm calling which display person?
Super class.
Super.
We'll go to the super class and we'll call this display function, correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
But if I want to
Yes.
display hi SCS, then who is displaying hi SCS?
Display person.
Of which class?
Super class.
Is it?
No.
Who is displaying hi SCS? Which function is displaying hi SCS?
Subclass.
None.
Display person as a method.
Which function? Yeah, which method? Which method is displaying display person?
Display person.
Which method is displaying hi SCS?
Display person.
Of which class?
Employee class.
So will I say super or will I say this?
This.
This, sir.
Okay, so when I say this means call the current class's method. So even if I don't write this, it will still call the current class, right? So this is an extra keyword which can be eliminated. So by default, it will first call this class method only. But if I don't want to call this, I want to call the super class one, then I will say what?
Super dot display.
Okay. Now my question is, coming back to Shabana's question,
Yes.
the class employee has how many display person? See, the father gave son a car and son bought one car for himself also. So how many car does the son have?
Two.
Which two?
One of the father, one is for himself.
Yeah, so my question is, how many display person does the employee class have?
Sir, one request, can we continue tomorrow?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to take this tomorrow. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, no issues.
Just because she had raised a concern, so I didn't want it to. So, okay, we'll do this Shabana tomorrow. Okay, this is called overloading. This is called as what?
Overloading.
Overloading.
Overriding, rather.
Okay.
This is called as
Umar sir,
It's a very confusing words, overloading and riding.
So it's not confusing. It's not confusing at all. It's very, very, very elementary to understand.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll pause here. Practice constructor for today.
Overloading is putting extra.
Okay, tomorrow we'll do that. Okay, overloading, overriding, whatever is there. We'll discuss these two keywords tomorrow.
okay, Umar sir, one question for the clearance. So you said super is a calling of super class. Super keyword is calling for the super.
Yeah, if I call without any method name, it will call the constructor. And if I want to call any explicit method name, I will say super dot method name.
Yes, yeah, I understand, sir. My question is this: super is called the super class. So
Okay,
my
yes.
class is, my name is Shanwas. Shanwas extend person, person extend employee. If I write the super, then
Multi-level, you're
which
trying to say
class?
multi-level inheritance.
Yes, I am calling you which class is super will call.
No, you're trying to say your first class is which one?
My first class is son. Second class is a father. A third class is a grandfather. If I write in some a son super, then it will call the father or grandfather.
Yes, Shabana, which will it call, father or grandfather? If son, the address is super.
Father, I hope father first and then grandfather.
Ataullah,
Farooq, from the son
you
class, they call super dot will
just
call which
mute it
classes
because it's
method?
disturbing
Father
in
or
the background,
grandfathers?
Ataullah. Yeah,
Farooq,
just try to manage the, change the headphone. It was really disturbing while you were speaking.
Farooq.
If you're,
Yes, sir.
no, not Farooq, Ataullah.
No, I'm asking the question to Farooq. Farooq, now from the son, if I say super dot function XYZ, it will call which classes method? Fathers or grandfathers?
From the son, sir,
Yeah, from the son
it will call from the father, I mean the immediate super class.
Yes, because super means one class can have only one super class, correct?
Yes, sir.
So which is son super class?
The immediate super class is the father, sir.
Immediate super class. So Shanaz bhai, it will call the XYZ function of father class, not of grandfather.
Yes, the word immediate, I want to bring up on this chat, because immediate parent class. If we write a super keyword in a constructor, it will call the immediate parent class. It may just a class having a multi-level of inheritance, but it will call always the immediate parent. Who is the immediate parent? That is the concern. That's I put this question in front of you. So okay, I got the answer because Farooq said immediate parent class. Well done, Farooq.
Yeah, this was discussed, Shanaz bhai. Today's
Thank you,
session
sir.
we discussed this. And in multi-level inheritance,
And
your
one little question for the candidates.
yes.
Suppose a class having int I is equal to 10.
A class having I equal to 10.
Umar sir, can you write in the
Yeah, I'll write it down. Okay. So a class is having there.
just give any name demo.
Is
This
having
class having int is equal to 10. Int I is equal to 10.
Okay.
Okay, then a main method.
Main method.
Okay, just write main method.
Okay.
PSV, yes. In this main method, I am writing this system.out.println I. What will the answer? What is the output?
10, according to me.
Another, anyone? Ataullah?
This should go for
Public
local
static
support.
void main.
What is the answer? 10?
Yes, sir, 10. No,
Okay.
no.
Farooq?
Yes, sir.
Farooq said 10.
No,
10.
no, sir, it's not 10 because it is scope of the variable. It's only.
Identify yourself. Amir speaking, right?
Yes, sir. First, you need to make an object of that class. Then d dot I. Then display. Yes, it will display like 10.
So today class, Umars are taken as a local variable, instance variable, and class level variable.
Yes,
Here
sir.
the I is the class level variable. It is not an instance variable. Instance variable you cannot can access by the static keywords and the class object after the class object. Here you can did you did that same. D is a
Yes,
object of demo class. That is why you are calling
yes,
this D dot I. Then here
yes,
is I is like as instance variable.
variable. Yes,
Got it? So it is an
yes,
instance
sir.
variable. Behave like instance variable, but it is not an instance variable. See, it's behave like instance variable, but it is not an instance variable. It is a class level variable. If I put a inside the main method I is equal to 20, and then we call the I, the output would be 20. If I put yes,
Out, yes.
and now you
Output
call
will be 20. SOP, I,
thus
yes.
your
It's
output would be
showing.
20 because it called a local variable. I is
Yes,
a
sir.
local variable. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Am I right, Umar sir?
Yes, sir, correct.
So
Now
this
it
is
will
the
point to
basic.
the local I. If I remove this, it will point to the class level variable I.
But class level variable it cannot be accessed because it is not a static keyword because
Yes.
our method public is static void main. Here is a
Mhm.
static, so that is it could not be a call as a instance variable. I mean to say it is an instance variable
Mhm.
until and unless you have to create your object, then you can call the instance variable.
You can call it,
Yes,
yes.
sir. Yes.
So
Yeah.
this is a local, it is a class level variable. I in the demo class int I is equal to 20. It is a 10. It is a class level variable. This variable is instance variable. Why it is instance variable? It doesn't have the class level variable. But now in this scenario, in our scenario, we are calling this into the public static void main. So here static keyword is there. What is the static keyword? Before loading your class, when you load the class.class file into the JVM create a stack area where he put this JVM. I prefer as a JVM as a mail. So he put this memory allocation before the loading of class. So that is why if something is not there, then how could you access? Int is not there. When a class is loaded, the compilation is completed and the class is loaded, it will come into the heap area. So stack area variable you can access without any hesitation. But heap area, if you want to access, static keyword is used for the stack area. I mean to say stack area where the object creation will be happen. Am I right, sir?
Yes, sir, correct.
Okay, so Umar, can you just whatever Shahnawaz just now said, just explain it if you understood, explain it in a better way to candidates.
I guess late now is already Farooq is asking to jump off.
Yeah. Okay, everyone is understood, right? What Shahnawaz was trying to convey.
Yes, sir. I got the point, sir.
Okay.
Instead of
You,
making
you be able,
object, we
would
can
you be
use
able to
static
explain it?
keyword.
Would you be able to explain it to everyone?
Not now, sir. I'm be quite busy right now. So I
Okay.
will explain afterwards, sir.
Okay,
Okay.
one last question of the session. That Umar sir said that byte int and what is the char or other is the long. So byte value range is minus 128 to 127. If your range is exceed from this, then you have to go for the further bigger one. Suppose you have 2 liters of milk in your hand.
Yes,
Suppose that. Or I will give you a cup where then how it will be poured into it. So int range and byte range, I put this range detail where also some Ataullah maybe Ataullah also put this the actual things I put it into the chat conversation. You can see it. If range exceed from this, then we will arrange the data type.
yes, yes, sir. We have done in narrowing and widening in that session.
Is forget about the narrowing and widening. We will
Okay.
see later, and maybe sir will
take it later, or narrowing and widening, or maybe he will take it also.
We have done with narrowing and widening it.
Yes, yes. So why we put the int and why we put the long and why we put the byte? So this is the reason of it. If -127 to -128, sir. -128 to 127. So this is a maybe you got the clear picture. Farooq, this is the question of your question in the system. Long and integer.
Yes, sir.
You clear this one?
Yes, sir. Thank you for answering. Sir. I'm clear,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye guys, see you all tomorrow.
Just for the sake of skipping this, Farooq, don't say I am clear. I know.
No,
But
I
anyway,
got the point, sir. Yeah, it is getting quite late, almost 1 a.m. here, but I got the point.
yeah, sure. Thank you.
Sir ji,
Yes,
ਤੁਸੀਂ
sir.
ਕੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ? 1 AM ਤੋਂ ਜਾਗ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ?
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
Bye.
you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you all.